Let's move on. Let me ask you this about the linebacker Bryce Boettcher. What you think about him?
He's a tricky evaluation because super productive, right? Super productive, and he's you see the instincts, you see sort of the hustle, the effort, closing on the football, always around the ball. I'm just not as high. I've seen him as high as like the third round, and I think that's a little rich for him. Undersized guy. We project to the NFL and you see, okay, does he get off blocks? Does he have the play strength required to play inside the next level, or is he just strictly a will? That's where I think the questions are going to be is, can he deconstruct and get off those blocks and redirect and make plays? There are a lot of plays on film, including the Penn State game, where you just see him get beat sideline to sideline, and I think he's more of a reactive athlete than than I would want. I think just someone who I think just lacking that burst sideline to sideline. And when you're undersized and you're lacking the burst and you're lacking the play strength, how far does that go? I think he's going to be instant impact on special teams. And I think his role at the next level has to be sort of that run and chase will. If you put him on Mike, I don't think you're going to get the return on your investment that you're hoping for. He's a tricky evaluation because he's super productive and he shows up in big games, but there are plays on film where you see like that's not going to translate. So I have him sort of in that fourth, fifth round range with smaller linebackers like Owen Heineke and guys like that. I have him below like the Keyshawn Elliott's, the Caleb Elarmzors, and I don't know if you see him yet, but Jimmy Rolder from Michigan's another good thumper I really like. But I have him below those guys because I think he's sort of a niche weak side linebacker that you want to run and chase and stay free from blocks. But he's going to help you immensely on special teams right away. He's a culture fit. So I think for the right team, he's going to be a good value. But anything before day 3, I think is a little bit of a reach.
Yep. I got him in the 4s. You hit on it. I think he's mostly like run game guy. I think the minute you ask him to start driving back and stuff, I think it's going to get a little weird for him. I saw Oregon blitz him a bunch too, but I wouldn't consider him like a pass rushy guy. I just think he's like he's a fun dude to watch, blitz or whatever. Let's see. You touched on that. You touched on it. I'm not a fan of like, if you're going to be, you have to be really good at one thing if you lack at the other. And I don't think he's like the super athlete guy. So if you're not going to be super athlete, I need your instincts to be like next level, go get him. And I think you said it perfectly. Like he's more of a, I saw it and I'm going to go. I do think that once he sees it quicker than some like Deontay Lawson or something. I think Deontay Lawson is Kenneth Murray, right? I think he sees it pretty well. And once he sees it, he's gone. But he's not one of those type of guys to where I know what you're doing before you do it, and I'm beating you to the spot. I don't think he's quite that guy. And if you're not going to be super athletic, and if you're not going to have the best size in the world, then I think you kind of got to have that. I got him below York and Elliott, but I have them above Fisher and Lawson. Fisher from Indiana and Lawson from Bama or whatever. But he's in the
I think when you look at the undersized linebackers, I have them all in that same tier: Fisher, York, Boettcher, and Heineke. Mm-hmm. They all sort of do the same thing, and they all have sort of the same shortcomings. Like they're all not tremendous athletes. They're big hustle guys, instinct guys. But with Boettcher, I struggle just because, like you mentioned, the reactive. I feel like he gambled a lot more than he just read it and closed. I think he's just more like there's just plays on film where I feel like he guessed the play and he got beat out on play action or different misdirection. So I'm not the biggest fan of Boettcher. I think there's a value for him, like I said, in that 4th, 5th round range. But when you go through this linebacker class, I've studied probably 20 linebackers already. You just start going down the list and like Keyshawn Elliott, Caleb Elarmzor. You got guys like Harold Perkins, who we're going to talk about. You got these are all guys who I can see like the traits pop off the film. I just didn't see that with Boettcher. And I think, like I said, there's a value for him. I think he's going to be someone who can help you in terms of being a stopgap, but the upside I think is a little capped.